Alright, this is probably my final documentation on this matter. I'm going to try to convey as much information as fast as possible. I have a prior video that tried to explain all this information up here, all this information here, and I did not have this added in there. Um, let's go ahead and begin with the beginning. The key information that I want to convey today is this cipher and what it means. Basically, we're locked into this as an individual with ego in this three-dimensional plane. And then we have one dimension of time, which we actually use as measurement in currency, basically. And then we also have our dream state, which is on the fifth dimension, and our higher spirit plane right there, our high God chi that we're able to tap into, and there's communication that happens there. Um, then we talk about the sixth sense that people are able to tap into that applies on the fifth dimension right there. Basically, this takes your time and your understanding of the fifth dimension and combines them together to accumulate the sixth sense, or the opposite of just this singularity right there. And this is where you can communicate beyond our normal understanding of ego and time. That's why 0 plus 1 is 1, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. That's basically the basic understanding of this entire cipher. This is actually pi. It's 3.14159.265.358.9 and 7. All right, this cipher up here explains the 16 digits or characters that are in here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is actually considered, this symbol right here is using the 7 to get its number of 13, because phi, or the golden ratio of 7, is 13, and that's the 13th letter in the alphabet. Then you take that and the rest of the digits up to the 7, which ends at the G, and it formulates this 16 characters up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. The definition for IE, you can look up on a dictionary, and it would say that means that is. And this is actually supposed to be sideways, or the infinite symbol. All right, and that carries you right there. The next group, which ends at the F right here, ends at the 26 right here, is I, D8, ID, C. Well, it's this H right here, okay? Because the eighth, I actually got to update that right there and get that formulated, but I'm just trying to get this out and documented. The other symbols are B, B, C, C, F, F, and that takes care of all that prior stuff. So that's ID, H, and this right here. The reason why this is okay, because in the next sequence, past the 26 and beyond, it says hide, HID, and there's an E somewhere in here, E, and then F, hide if, and that's the if statement up there hidden in pi. All right, this carries out to the 42nd decimal point where the 9 is, and that is actually the 42 is the secret to life, or the secret hidden in pi, basically. Additional words that are found in here is the A squared, B squared, C squared, high, God, and Ci, and that completes the chi. The 22nd letter of the Greek alphabet is an X, and that is actually a correlation connecting to chi. They're kind of interchangeable. The 69 is key, because that's the if, and we're hiding the if. And it breaks, the code actually breaks at 19 right here. If you use this and place the numbers correlating to each row, of these past the 7. So the 9 would go down here, the 2 would go up top. The 5 has some options there, so you can move it around between the 2. The 3 also has some options. Again, the third dimension or matter is able to tap into either one of these consciousness or these 2 different dimensions that we're talking about. But the 9 is solely the chi understanding. Okay? And additionally, you go up to the top, and that is our dimensional understanding. Now, it doesn't mean that there's a 3, there's a 5, or there's an 8. I don't know at this point, but I know up to this point, these characters, that is where it's at. That's where the ideology is, and that's where everything lies. I explained at one point, we'll go ahead and continue with Tau, keep everything simple. The 19th letter of the Greek alphabet is Tau. It's T-A-U, and that is 6.28318530717. Now, the cool thing about this is if you take these 16 digits and go 16 decimal places, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And guess what's right there? It says H-I-D-E-F, hide if. But the problem is the 69 is right past it. So we've got 3 more, which is 19 decimal places. Or reoccurring pattern of this 19 being important. 19 right there. 19 decimal places. If, hide if. If is right there. Okay, but this is actually hide fig or hide GIF. A GIF is an image format such as JPEG or PNG, and that is hidden actually in this pattern. The reason why this pattern is what it is and not like over here where it's like 0 plus 1 equals 1, 1 plus 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 9s, and then you have this 5 just hanging out there. But we explain this pattern right here. What this pattern does, and if you work it out, it lines out the pattern right away. It's this row, there's no pattern there, so we drop the 2 down, and then there's no 8 doesn't fit on either one of those, so it drops and there's a pattern form right there. So it's 6 plus 2 equals 8. So that's what our working pattern is, and then we go over here and try to find out to see where the connecting pattern is. The next number is a 3, so that actually is the first part of the previous. It's a connecting factor. So you have 3, and then the next one's 1, and it goes right there. And then 8. So the 8s were a pattern right there, and then you have a 5 next, so the 5 pops up here. And that continues the 7, 6, 5, which is quite literally a pattern just like the previous one, just in reverse from here. And this is the 3, 3, 2, 1. The problem is there's a 3 after the 5, but that wasn't found until after I completed the rest of it. So, and then we had the 7 right there, or the 0 was right next to the 1, and then we put a 7 above because it was 7, 6, 5. 7 plus 0 is 7, and that closed out the pattern there. And then you would see after you draw where the patterns go, that is the DNA strand, okay? And that the 1 right here between the 7s and the 3, which is on top of this 1, actually correlates to the image or the GIF that was hidden. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's the DNA RNA strand type deal. And then you have the 69, which is the if, which is right there. If an action happens, there's an equal and opposite reaction, okay? So we have that, and then this, actually the hide fig, you want to get a lot of religious symbols, just like here, so you do a research into fig, and you do a search, and it brings up Genesis 3:7. Now this is 7 letters in 3 columns, is what this is, okay? And that's Genesis 3:7. And it says they sewed together fig leaves to hide themselves, basically. So hide, fig, I mean, it's a literal translation there. If that's not enough, then we go into E, and we find this pattern again repeating. It says be, hide, do, A squared, B squared, H squared, and you can figure it out right there. But these are the two h's, and that's the h squared, and then the a squared b squared is from this Zen side, which is the z, and then the off, which is our dream state, our the fifth dimension. The Zen state is something that we can do consciously in this realm and be awake during it. This is the complete off state. So this would be the fourth dimension of time, and that would be the fifth dimension of whatever we're going to call it. Okay. Additionally, I explained about goggles. So if you do OK symbols on your left hand, that actually says 3 point. So that's 3 point right there. And then the Fibonacci or the golden ratio right here actually is 1.61803, and the 03 is on your right hand. So they're the same thing, just mirrored each other. So it's the 69 represents or switches. So this is supposed to be a 6, but it's the same thing on the opposite realm, basically. Anyways, if you overlap the 0 parts, the circle parts on each hand, you would have 1, 2, 3 fingers there and 1, 2, 3 fingers here, and that would end the patterns right there. So that way you would have your connective consciousness there. But the way it works out is if you take each OK symbol on each hand and place them over each eye. So your left hand is over your left eye with the circle, and your right circle is over the right eye, and you connect the middle fingers. This is the fifth dimension. And then the 4 fingers left is your 2 ring fingers and your 2 pinky fingers. That's the X, Y, Z in time. And then you would roll back the middle fingers, which is the fifth dimension, all the way back into your head, and it would hit your pineal gland. And that has a whole bunch of properties that we're just still learning about and figuring out. And that is, it releases DMT, and that's during the dream state and what have you. It's just a whole bunch of crazy stuff that you can research. But your left hand is up here. It's your ID or ego. It's the B. And then your chi state or your destiny is right up here. It's the D. And your ego always asks why, and your chi always focuses you on what matters. And that's why there's an M, A, T, T, E, and these are reverses of R's. So it just depends on where you're at, but they always mirror each other. It's what truly matters. And then the Y is right here, the H, and the Y. The why I truly matter. That's what it comes down to. This is a correlation or a diagram between the now state right here and your timeline from beginning to end. And this is always going to be now, and this is your dream state, and this is your awakened state. And you have options to be a part of the collective consciousness or not. But either way, you're still abiding by the same rules. Your dream state is going to be different. For those of you that are a part of the collective consciousness, you are actually working during your sleeping state, and you learn how to transition your information acquired here to the information that is needed here. Okay? It's very simple, and you try to explain this to people, and they freak out, and they don't know what's going on, but crazy stuff starts happening. It's basically like karma, and this is what this states. The fifth dimension, again, is A, B, C, F, and H, okay? So you have this is your dream state, this is your chi, and then you have your A and B state. What is the repeating? C. I think C, no, I don't have it. It's either A, B, or C. That's these last 3 things. I don't know which one. It has to be B is now. So there's B, and then this is A or C. I don't know which one. I'm going to say C is here because that's light. And then this is the A, or the representative of all. So we got A, C, B, F, and then H right there. Which is pretty self-explanatory. It kind of just drew itself out and all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, yeah. So basically, this is all found in these numbers, this information, and the diagram sort of was an image that I get from when I wake up from a dream state and I knew that it was important. This is actually the graduation cap, and that's the little button. And then we get to choose where we want to put our um, little tassel. So we go from one to the other, one side to the other. So this is your graduation cap, and you are now graduated into the fifth dimension of understanding and the hidden dormant information in pi, um, which 42 is the secret to life. So now you know. That's why we hid the if. So I don't know where this information's supposed to go from. Well, I do, but I'm not supposed to say certain things. So, um, yeah, I'm not the one with all the information, so don't come after me. I'm just a person that's supposed to convey this step, so that way we can move forward in life. All right, but literally stuff is hidden throughout everything, and we need to reorganize all our information to correlate to what is important, and that is you. That is me. That is everyone that chooses to be a part of something greater than themselves, and it's going to bring about goodness in all, not negativity. If you are receiving bad signals, such as stuff to harm people or yourself, you don't have the entire picture yet. But basically, it's stating that something is important and you need to remember what the main idea of the topic is. Not the harmful stuff, but the idea that brought you to that place. You need to remember because there's other key pieces of information that you're still needing to acquire. All right. But, and then step back from it. Always keep calm and carry on. Never give your life for art. And then step forward one step at a time. If you step forward and it's negativity, then you're going to have to talk it out with your friends and family, or find some sort of social outlet that you're able to discuss that you know this is the wrong thing to do, but this is all the options that you have at this point. And you know it'll make sense in the end, but right now it's just going to be crazy, 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 crazy stuff in your head. So, all right. Peace be with you. Rock on.